Hey everybody, so welcome back to another video. I know it's been a while, but I really wanted to do a video for this, but I made a bit of a boo-boo when ordering, so I'll explain that in a minute. So this is basically a video on the chill stick by FidgetThings, made out of aluminium. So the lighting's not great, I apologise, it's the evening. So I've got some black beads with some little green spacers in there. So it's got a spin top, and then it's got a magnet cap bottom. So when I first ordered this, I forgot to order this piece, so it was just like this. So you know, if I'd done the order properly, I would have been able to have actually done a video quicker, but there we go, I made a mistake. But anyway, so FidgetThings has some really cool things on the site, and one thing I like about his site in particular is that you can build what you want. So he's always done that for the chill pills. He does that for the sliding on a budget slider, and he does it for the chill stick as well. But I have to say, I admit I found the process quite confusing. It was a very new thing. I do recommend joining the Facebook group so you can see what other people have built and you can ask questions in there. But what I went with, so each piece of the rod is actually made up of individual connecting rods, and they're all different sizes. So he does different sizes. I'm not going to go through what sizes they are. You can easily look that up on the website. It tells you exactly what size they are. These are just two extras that I recently bought. But yeah, if you get the starter pack on the builder, then you will get one of each size. So you can see, so this is a short one, this is a little bit longer, a little bit longer, a little bit longer, another shortish one. So very handy. I do recommend you do that, and you get a lot actually for your money. This is a very long stick. Trying to think, what could I compare it to? Let's compare it to the Wrapped, as I always do. So there we go. It's very long. So technically you could actually make two out of this. And that's what I intend to do. I may need to get some other parts, because I keep changing my mind about what I want to do, but it's, yeah, it's a very generous amount basically. If you order the bead starter pack, I believe you get 15 of these black beads and then 9 of the little coloured spacers, and you can choose your colour, so it does a little range of colours. So he does different ends, different tops and stuff. So obviously I was going to get a spinner end, and it's very simple, just very sleek design, nothing fancy, which I like. And he does these magnet ends, and I was like, oh my god, I've got to have the magnet ends. And you know, I've seen people like doing this as well with them. It's very cool. I think you know, Derek at FidgetThings is very creative and very innovative, and no other maker is doing these kind of like different ends as far as I know. If I'm wrong, obviously correct me, but yeah, I was like, I've got to have the magnet ends. But yeah, I made the mistake, I only bought one end. So if you do order the magnet ends, you need the magnet. You basically need two pieces. So one of them's, I think, called the magnet bottom, one of them's called magnet top. You need both of them. Yeah, I was just a little bit confused and kind of missed on that. So you can get just a plain end cap as well. Unfortunately, I did order it in aluminium, but he's sent me brass. I think he's been very busy, so you know, mistakes can happen. So I have emailed and just said, so I'm not going to open this, because obviously if he wants this sent back, then obviously I'll send it back in the condition that I received it. So you know, that I would have put here on the end cap. So Maybe it just gives me an excuse to make another order. I don't know, and you can just bung that in. But yeah, so this is really good value. Obviously, the more pieces you buy, the more it's going to add up. So the builder and what the price is going to be entirely dependent on the material and what pieces you buy. But, you know, to explain it the best way I can, if you get the starter kit, you get all the rod, connecting rod pieces, you know, one of each. If you get a top, I would obviously suggest get the spinning top. And then you could just go for like a plain bottom end like this, if you don't want anything on the bottom. Or you can get the magnet pieces. If you want the magnet pieces, you need to get both pieces. And so he's just introduced this after I made my initial order. You can get the chill pill end, which is awesome. So, but again, if you want to get the chill pill end, you need the actual chill pill, is it an adapter or something he calls it, and then you need a double dose or any other chill pill end. You might already have one, but I got the double dose because it can then stick to something metal, which I don't have anything here, but yeah, it will. So yeah, that's that. You could, by the same token, also have a lanyard end. And from the pictures on the site, it looked quite confusing because this was just sat kind of just on a, like on a cutting board, and I was like, well, that hasn't got threads on it, like it hasn't got a like a screw end. But Derek gives you plenty of grub screws to actually connect pieces as you wish. So if I just show you, so and obviously grub screws, you can easily get them, they're M4 size, he tells you what size they are. So there we go. If I really wanted to do that, there we go. Now I've got a lanyard connector. If I wouldn't actually hang that whole thing off a lanyard, but you get the idea. You can modify this and be as creative with this as you wish. And I think that's all down to, you know, how he has built these to be modular. And I think that's absolutely bloody brilliant. The only downside, I'd say, is with these different size connectors, you're a bit limited as to what size you want to put on there, or what beads you put on there. You know, that is going to limit you, but I do have a little bit of a workaround for that, which I'll share in a minute. But what I'll do is I'll just take this apart. So let's take the spinning top off first. So this is aluminium. I did forget to say, so he does put instructions on the bag, so obviously I've ripped this a little bit. So I would recommend that you do read this. So, you know, it says don't over tighten, don't use Loctite, don't exceed bead capacity. The post needs at least 2mm of thread to be secure and rigid. So posts are strongest when loaded with beads. Obviously, like aluminium. Aluminium is a soft metal, easily bent. And yeah, any pieces that are stuck, use some rubber. I had that issue as well, trying to get some pieces apart when I first got it. Just turn a rubber washing up glove inside out, and just use it to get a bit of grip, because it's really grippy on the inside. And yeah, so you do get some instructions. So here we go. Here is the spinning top. Now I'm just going to take this apart for you as well. I haven't quite worked out how to get the bearing out. So you've got a piece like this, and there we go, there's a bearing. Okay, just got a little screw, sits in there. So yeah, it just sits on there. It's quite a simple design. Well, simple but effective. And neat. It's a neat design. I mean, I don't know how else you do it. I'm not an expert. I don't make, you know, spinners or fidgets or things like that. But, you know, there we go. Really nice. So that's that piece. And I'll show you the beads. So when you get the bead starter, obviously, I think I said, what was it, 15 of the black, 9 of the green. If I'm wrong, I'll have to correct myself with some on-screen text. But I don't know if you can see there. So the black beads are slightly bigger, and then these acrylic spaces just sit in the middle because there are some little, there we go, you can see a bit better there. So it's got an indentation for them to sit in, which is really nice because then that just makes it, you know, kind of perfectly symmetrical, everything's centered. Very nice. And so the black pieces are 3D printed, I think. Can't quite tell, I think these are acrylic, I'm not sure. But I think he does, I know he does grey. It'd be nice if he did white, but he doesn't. Purple, possibly red, I'm not sure. Does a few colours, but obviously I was going to go with green because I love green. So there we go, got another piece here. Load more beads. Very, very easy to take apart. Now the only thing I found with being in the UK is I was quite limited with what beads could fit. Because these are not 6mm post, these are something like 6.25mm, they're imperial lengths. I can't remember what the actual imperial length is off the top of my head, but that's a bit of a problem, and that's the inner diameter. Outer diameter you're looking at something like about 16mm, I think. That's not so much of a problem, but a lot of beads I have got 6mm inner diameters, so they will not fit on these posts, and that's a shame. But FidgetThings is based in the US, I think, so you know, what do I expect? So yeah, these are all the connecting rods, and very well machined, no sharp kind of ends at all really. Not even on the threads, just beautifully made. And lightweight. There we go. And then we've got the two magnet ends here. Very strong magnets actually. I don't know what strength they are, but they are decently strong. And then obviously the chill pill is obviously very strong as well. So, what to do if you've got beads that, I don't know, perhaps the rods aren't long enough. So these are where my sort of like modifications came into play. So one of the beads that I have that does fit, and actually was the one I wanted to most put, or what I wanted to put on this most, was this bead by GS Glowworks in Singapore. So I've bought, you know, quite a few of their stuff over the years. They've done some different glow cigar heart beads before that were plastic that I've got. They don't fit, unfortunately, the bore isn't big enough, but this is a titanium and like aqua blue glow bead that I got. I've had it kicking around for a little while and I couldn't decide what to do with it, but then when I saw this I was like, oh my god, if it fits that'd be perfect. But if we have a look there, it's a very tall bead and that is the tallest rod, so there's no way that that's going on, which is a bit of a shame. But I was kind of sitting there thinking, you know, I'm not an expert with hardware and things like that, but I thought there must be some kind of spacers that you can get that these grub screws will kind of like fit in. I was like, they must exist, but of course I had to try and think, what are they called? They must exist, but what are they called, so I can search for it. So I think I searched a load of random terms until I found something that would work. So what I wanted to do was find a spacer that would just increase the length of this. And I did find it eventually. So what I came up with, and I've ended up with a whole bag of them. Where are they? So these are standoff screws. So they've got an M4 male end and then an M6 female end. And they did them in different sizes, but I basically measured how so from this point here inside up to like the top of the bead. But then I thought, well, if I'm going down that route, I've got these lovely JG10 spacers that I'd like to put on as well, because they fit and they're from Salt and Pepper EDC. So I thought, well, I want to put those on. That's going to increase it even more. So again, I just measured that distance, same distance, and bought the right size spacers, or standoff spacers, whatever they're called. And there we go. Now that's increased the length. Now, I'm not saying I fully recommend doing this, because you are putting kind of like a stress point on here if you bend it, if you put any pressure on it. So obviously I don't recommend doing that. This is stainless steel as well, so this is a tougher metal screwing onto a weaker metal, so you know, if any force is put on there, it is going to bend, it's going to ruin it. So this is just an example of something that you can do. I tried to find these in aluminium but couldn't find them. I could only get them in stainless steel. They were very cheap. But this was basically my problem solving to get this bead and these spacers on. So be sensible. I'm not recommending this if you're going to be rough with this, because you will end up, I think, probably damaging that connector rod. But if you're going to be sensible with this and gentle, then so far it's worked for me just fine. So while I was waiting for the other order to come in with the other magnet end and the chill pill end, I've been using this constantly and had no problems. But at the same time, I haven't been chucking it around, I haven't been putting stress on it. You know, I've been sensible with it. But it works. And obviously I don't over tighten. Must be very careful not to over tighten. So there we go. And that's how I got my nice titanium bead with JG10 on there. And you know, it's makeshift. It's a bit ugly on the inside, but you can't see it from the outside. But like I said, that's just my problem solving for my particular usage, and I'm mindful of it. I'm not gonna be an idiot with it, or like, you know, put pressure on it. Like, I'm not gonna put pressure here because it's just under here. I'm not gonna try and bend it or anything like that. That's stupid. Yeah, so it's an idea. Take it as you will. If you do go down that route, just be careful with how you handle it. Okay, I'm not responsible if you break your connecting rods or whatever. And another thing, with the grub screws. So another mod. So I think he gives, what's he give? M4x8 set screw, grub screw, whatever they're called. I don't know. I'm not an expert. He gives, you know, like, I think I've got a couple of them that he includes, but I thought, well, what if I want to put, let's say for example, I've got another one of these spacer beads. Let's say I want to attach it to this piece. Well, there's no, you know, there's no threaded piece. There's no screw bit. Well, you just use a grub screw. But, you know, because I want to put a spacer in between, I may want to use a longer one. So I got some longer grub screws. Easy as that. Again, really easy to find. So I just make sure I've got enough in the base of that connecting rod, and then leave enough to go into the magnet end. Oh, almost dropped it. There we go. So yeah, you can think of things like that. I mean, he does actually suggest on the instructions, you know, you can use different grub screws to just you know, connect pieces in whichever way you want. So I wouldn't use a ridiculously long one to put a really long bead on. I don't know if that stability is going to be a bit rubbish, I don't know, but yeah, it's so what I'm saying is I wouldn't use one really long screw, if that even exists, to connect two pieces there. You know, I want that connector rod to add some strength. Okay, so yeah, I like problem solving. And yeah, if you're going to do likewise, just be sensible. And I'm not responsible. I'm not responsible again. I'm not taking any responsibility. You know, we're all adults. You can figure these things out for yourself if you want to do it, if it's safe. And another thing as well, here in the UK, like I said, the beads kind of hard to come by in terms of getting ones that fit in terms of inner diameter on these. And I did actually make a suggestion on the group before I really thought about it, that it would be nice if you did some spacer beads, because these are so brilliant, but just some plain spacer beads, kind of like this, but like in aluminium, brass, copper, whatever. But anyway, I was thinking about it after I suggested that, and I was like, when I was searching for those for these, I kept finding other spacers that had no threads on the inside, and I thought, well, I wonder if they do wide ones. They do. So yeah, I just got these aluminium spacers on Amazon, and you get them like in a pack of 10, pack of 12, not a lot of money. I just made sure that the inner diameter was big enough. It's roughly 8mm, because obviously a 6 wouldn't fit. Yeah, so you can kind of use these as little accent beads and things like that as well. So, you know, not the prettiest. In the end, these are aluminium. Could get stainless steel as well, but I just thought aluminium's fine. In the end, I ended up getting loads. Like, I've got some 2mm ones here. You know, just in case I've got some, you know, when I'm setting this all up, I've got some beads. They don't quite make up enough space on the connector. I could just take up the extra space with maybe a 2mm spacer, or whatever. And also, I kind of really liked the look of the aluminium bases of the connector rods, kind of breaking up the pattern. I really quite liked it. I thought it was quite neat, so that's why I kind of thought, you know, it'd be nice if you had your own, then you could sort of, you know, add some more accents if you so wished. So, yeah, really cheap on Amazon, and I will probably use them as well. So, let's have a look. Let's just do a mock-up. So, if I use this piece here, I've got some spacers there. Pretty sure they fit on that one. Yes, they do. So obviously when I was planning this, I did make measurements so that I didn't waste my money on a load of beads. Not beads, spacers and things like that, but there we go. So that's kind of like a budget. That's my budget way of adding pieces on, maybe as little accents, spacers. You could get some budget little aluminium spacers, and it works. So yeah, have a play around, and don't forget, you can orient these connecting rods in any way you see fit. So, oh god, right, keep those apart. Right, so you don't, you know, initially I thought, oh, you know, I'll just put them on, you know, sequential, one after the other, etc, etc. Yeah, that's fine. But then there's nothing stopping you from adding a grub screw on one end. Oh, that's quite a long one, but let's grab a short one. So there's nothing stopping you grabbing a grub screw and then putting putting them kind of back to back, if you thread them on right as well, trying to be very careful here. There we go. Nothing stopping you from going that way, if you wished. It opens up kind of the modularity. It does open things up a bit. And as I said, you don't have to have them butting up against each other like that. You know, you could just grab another one of these. You could put bead spacer in between. There we go. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. So I really, really love this. Just how much you can do to it. Change it around to your preference, really. And I didn't really get the whole kind of spinning stick kind of thing initially. I just sort of saw them and thought that's great if you're a bead collector, but if you're not, then it could lead you down a whole new rabbit hole that your wallet can't manage. You know, I'm not going to go down the bead rabbit hole. There's some beautiful beads out there like Wisco, Salt and Pepper. I actually might get some more if they, I know they do drops every now and then. If they do some nice sort of bigger size beads, they're a bit more affordable, I think. But yeah, I'm not going to really go down that rabbit hole, but if there's something I like, then I might get it if I can. But yeah, I didn't really get it. I just thought, well, it's just a bead holder with a spinning top, but actually it is really addictive, because I've just been doing this when I just had my one magnet end. All I've been using is this spin top, and it is super, super addictive. I want to change the bearing. I want to use an unquiet hands bearing in there. I want to figure out how to get the bearing out safely without damaging anything. But yeah, it's quite surprised me, and I think the huge appeal of this, of any spin stick, so not just the chill stick, is that you can make these as you want, because you're putting your own kind of prized beads on there. If you're a bead collector, you're building them up how you like. You're building your own aesthetic, and I think, you know, having the ability to do that is quite fun. You know, people like to express themselves in small ways, and that, you know, that is one way of doing that with your fidget item. So with the chill stick, you can do that at quite a reduced cost, which is even better. So for me, I didn't want to spend too much money, but I am so pleased with this. I think it's really good value. If you go down the starter pack and then the bead starter pack, you essentially can get 2 chill sticks out of what you get, because you can make them shorter, you can mess around with the beads. You know, I've extended mine a little bit. You know, you can mess around with that and do with it what you wish. But yeah, it's an amazing item. I mean, I don't think it would really replace like sliders or like, you know, spinners for me, but it is just something nice to have, and to sort of figure out what I'm going to put on it and, you know, jazz it up with some nice beads. GS Glowworks have actually made some more of these glow beads. He's added now a amber glow as well option, and also a black PVD on the titanium. I've actually bought another one of these with the aqua glow, and I've bought the amber glow as well with the silver outside, because I'm not a big fan of PVD, but I'll put the link in the description below. His stuff is just brilliant, and I don't think he really charges that much, you know, compared to other makers. You know, arrived quite quickly from Singapore, so yeah, great beads. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll cut and show you what build I have currently. Okay, so this is the setup that I'm running with at the moment for my main piece. I mean, I've got loads of spare parts. I've got spare beads, I have spare bits there, and I have kind of made a little makeshift kind of other bead keeper thing as well, with magnet ends and the lanyard ends, but this is going to change. Maybe when I get more beads. But at the moment, yes, this is my main one. So I've got the spinning top, which is addictive, and it's really nice to hold actually with this chill pill end, so you've got something kind of substantial to sort of hold on to here. And yeah, it's just very nice and addictive to use. I'm quite surprised just how nice it is to just hold and use, fidget with. So this, so my cigar hard bead with the JG10 spacers, they're on the longest connector. This is the base, but obviously the connector's too short, so I have got those standoff spacers, so I've got one in there so that I could get them all on. Haven't over tightened, just tight enough to sort of keep it in place. And then, so the bottom of that connector I wanted to attach to the chill pill, but I did want a spacer in between. So I just used a longish grub screw to do that, and it works. And the chill pill end with the double dose, so if I had anything metal here, it will stick to something metal. And quite cool, on his Facebook group, he sort of spun his and then stuck it on his machinery, and it just stood up, which was pretty impressive. So I'll have to try that at some point, but I don't have anything here to do that. But yeah, I love the chill pills. Like, they are super addictive, but I do find with my chill pill, it does pinch sometimes, but I don't know, with having this to hold on to and just having one kind of chill pill end, like, I do just generally just do that a lot. It would probably be very annoying to someone else, but I love it. But it doesn't pinch. So it's just so cool. I think of all the kind of spinning sticks I've seen out there, bead keepers and stuff, this is the most fidgetable and also the most kind of like modular, so you can build it however you want. I really look forward to him doing sort of stainless steel. In a way, the connecting rods can be a little bit limiting, but also, you know, it can actually be quite of a nice problem solver to try and figure out, right, how am I going to get this bead on, or how am I going to do this, how am I going to do that. So I've done a workaround with the mods that I've done, but that may not always be necessary. And like I said, just be careful with what kind of mods you do. Yep. And just because I'm doing it doesn't mean that it's right or correct. You know, you'll have to figure out yourself. Don't over tighten. Don't put stress on any areas if you're using those standoffs. Yeah, but anyway, this is just fantastic. What I'll do is I'll just cut to this in the dark, because this bead glows, and let you see that. Okay, so here it is, glowing, and the cool thing about this bead is obviously the glow kind of like seeps through to the JG10. Apologies if the quality's bad, but yeah, filming in the dark, so yeah, very, very cool. Okay guys, so just cutting back quickly, so that's going to be it. So this is absolutely fantastic. I think Derek is a brilliant innovator, and you know, I think doesn't get enough praise sometimes for the stuff he does. He's so creative, and he's coming out with more and more things for the chill stick and for his other pieces, and I just think it's amazing, and it's affordable. You don't need to get the starter set. If you've got a general idea, use the measurements of the connectors that, you know, he's posted up. If you've got beads already that you want to use, then, you know, do some measurements, figure it out, and just buy the pieces that you want. You know, I just went with all of it because I wasn't sure what beads I was going to put on, what would fit. So just you know, go for it if you're interested. He is looking into stainless steel and exotics, I think, but for me this aluminium one is fantastic. It's not too heavy. It's, in fact, let me just weigh it. So obviously it's a softer metal, it will need some, you know, it will need more care. So it's about 55 grams, which I think is fine. I think stainless steel would be awesome to have, but you know, he's gonna I think I did ask, you know, are you going to do all the modules and all the ends and stuff in stainless steel, and it was sort of like yes when he has the time. So poor guy, you know, he's only one man, and working really hard, not only on these but you know the other products that he produces. So well done to him, really awesome stuff. I look forward to seeing what he comes out with next. Strongly suggest you join the group to see what he's making and to see what other people have done as well with their chill sticks and other things from his website. So if you have any questions, just pop your comments down below and I'll do my best to answer. But yeah, highly recommend this. Absolutely love it. I don't really want another spinning stick, I don't need more than one. So unless he comes out with full stainless steel or whatever, then I might be tempted, but I think this is brilliant and I'm really pleased. So thank you very much and have a lovely day.